Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are doing absolutely well. So guys, in this video we are going to prepare for technical assessment for GenC, and for cluster 2 we have Python in that, right? So this video is going to be a quick revision for you so you can revise your basic syntaxes and basic codes. Also there are some topics which are included in the syllabus of Python which is coming under cluster 2. So we will cover everything basically in this video in the least amount of time so that you can prepare best for your upcoming technical assessment cluster number 2. Make sure to watch the video till end, and if you have any doubts, let me know in the comment section. I will answer all your doubts. Before we start the video, if you are new to my channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are finding it helpful, because it will give me motivation to post more videos related to previous year questions. Also, there is a complete playlist on Cognizant Prep that I am creating. Make sure to check that too. So without wasting any time, let's start with our topic for today. So guys, let's start with discussing the syllabus first. So in the syllabus you can see the duration of the test is going to be 120 minutes, okay, and there will be 3 sections. In these 3 sections, the first part is going to be your coding Python, okay. In that you will have data structures, functions, object oriented programming based concepts, file handling, libraries and modules, and then exception handling. Okay, this part is about MySQL and ANSI SQL and database related thing. I have already created a video on this. If you haven't checked it in the playlist, make sure to check in the Cognizant Prep playlist that I have on my channel. Also, there is this third this part, okay, which is cloud fundamental MCQs. I have also posted a video on previous year MCQs on cloud fundamentals, which will be very helpful for you in your preparation. So make sure to check that and prepare well for this part also. Now in this video we are going to see this part, which is coding Python, okay. So let's start. First we will start with data structures, which is we'll understand what is data structures and how are they implemented using some basic code snippets, okay. The first one is your data structures in Python. Python provides built-in data structures such as lists, tuples, dictionaries and sets, okay. And let's see the example of list, which is lists are also called as dynamic arrays, okay. So if you see here, here we have created a list, okay, and with the numbers 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50, okay. Now how to access elements in a list? So simply numbers of, if you have to mention the index value, and then it will give you the output, okay, that is whichever is the value in that index. Next is your adding elements. So in order to add the elements, you can use append, okay. So numbers dot append, and whatever the number that you want to append, so what this will do is this will add 60 at the end of your list. So when you will print your numbers list, what it will print, the existing values and then one more element which will have 60 in it. Next is your removing of elements. So what you will do, numbers dot remove of whatever the element that you want to remove, you will mention that, and this will remove 30 from your list, okay. So basically when you print the numbers, you will get the output as 10, 20, 40, 50 and 60. Basically 30 will be removed from your last entry which you have. Hope list is clear. Let's now move on to the next section, which is dictionaries, okay. So dictionaries are what? Dictionaries are key value pairs. So if you want to mention something as a key value pair, then you can mention it in this way. For example, this is the student dictionary, okay, and then the name is there, and then age value is there, grade is there, okay. So in this way you can create a dictionary, okay. Now accessing the values in a dictionary, how to access the values? Simply student of, and then whatever the key that you want to the value for which you have to mention the key for which value you need to print, okay. For example, you need to print the name Rahul, so you want student of name, okay. So this will output Rahul. If you, in the similar way, if you want age to be printed, so what you will do, student of name, okay. So if you want to update the value, for example, so how you will do, student of age is equals to whatever the value that you want to update. Again, when you will print, it will print this, okay, these things. So if you just print the student, it will print your dictionary. Hope dictionary is also clear. Moving on to the next section, which is functions in Python. So in Python we have different functions, okay. And what is the purpose of functions? For functions helps to organize the code into reusable blocks. So defining and calling a function, let's see. We have the function greet, okay. We are defining it, we are passing name to it, okay. So this is the like simple text, okay, function to greet a person, and then we are returning hello and then name, okay. So now we are calling this function. So print greet, and then whatever the value that we want to pass, this will output hello and the name that we have passed, okay. Simple functions we all know how to create. Next is lambda functions. Lambda functions are also called as anonymous functions, okay. Basically, what are anonymous functions? The functions that are that do not have a name actually, okay. So lambda functions are anonymous functions, which are also called as one-liner functions in Python. It is used for a small operation without defining a function, full function, okay. Let's see. So if you see lambda function to square a number, so what you will do is square is equals to lambda x and that x into x. This will what it will do, take the value of x and multiply it with itself. When you will call this function, okay, and put the value 5, it will multiply it with itself and give you the output. Okay, moving on to the next one, which is object oriented programming in Python, or OOPS. So Python supports different concepts of OOPS like encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. Okay, so let's understand with this code. Okay, so we have a class car, and what we are doing, we are like defining a function in it. Okay, and then we have self, brand, and model constructor to initialize the attributes. So self dot brand equals to brand, self dot model equals to model. This is how we are initializing the attributes. Then we have show details method. Okay, this is method to display the car details. So we are just printing out the car details here. Okay, so that is car, self dot brand, self dot model. How can we create a object? So in order to create a object, what we will do, we will just write the variable my car and then car of whatever the like name and model that we want to pass. In the same way, if you want to see the details, so mark my car dot show details, and then this will output car Tesla model 3. So this was about class and object. Moving on, then we have inheritance. So inheritance, let's see. Here we have electric car method. Okay, in that we have init, which is calling parent class constructor using the super method. Okay, now super method is here, dot init brand and model we have passed, self dot battery equals to battery, and then we have show details method, which is used for method overriding in this case. Okay, and then we are printing the values. Okay, like electric car, self dot brand, self dot model, with whatever basically the data that we want to print. Then what we are doing here is we are creating an object of electric car, EV equals to electric car, and then whatever the values that we are expecting, we are passing that here. EV dot show details, this will output the electric car Tesla Model S with 100 kilowatt battery. Okay guys, now I'm not explaining that this in very detail, because you know these are individual concepts in this. If you want, we can create 30 minutes lecture on each concept itself. This video is meant for just for quick revision for you at the end moment, and to give you an idea of how the syntaxes looks like, so that when you code, you will not have much problems while coding. Okay, because you will have a quick revision of your syntaxes. Next is a file handling in Python. Okay, Python provides built-in functions to handle files. Okay, so we have like operations like reading a file, writing to a file. Okay, so let's see the example of how to read a file. So with open, and then we will write the file name and the operation that we want. R stands for reading. Okay, so the content is equals to file.read function, and then simply reading the entire file content. This is like how we are reading the entire file content, and once we print the content, whatever the content that we have read, it will be printed out. Okay, next writing to a file. Okay, so how to write to a file? So with open, we will open the file. Okay, output.txt, and we W stands for writing. Okay, and then as file, this is the syntax, file.write hello, this is a test file. So basically this text will be written into the file whatever is there. Okay, so W is the mode overwriting existing content, and A mode appends the content. Okay, so basically instead of W you can also write A. Okay, so basically in W stands for what? Whatever the existing content is there, that will be removed and your new content will be put. A stands for what? Whatever the existing content is there, that will stay. Along with that, your new content will also be added. Next is your libraries and modules in Python. So in my modules are reusable Python files containing functions and classes. Importing built-in modules. Let's see how can you import built-in modules. For example, if math is an import built-in module that you can import, so import math and then print math.sqrt16. So whatever the method that is available in math module, you can print that. Okay, so your output will be 4. In the same way, you can print math.py, which is the value of pi, which will get printed. Okay, hope it is clear. Moving on to the next part, which is exception handling in Python. So an exception occurs. Okay, when does the exception occur? When the program encounters an error, then the exception occur. Okay, and how can we like implement this one? So using try except block. Okay, see, try block, what it contains? It contains the potentially risky code. Okay, so for example, in this one, num is equals to int input we have taking enter a number, and this may cause a value error if the value is not put in properly. Okay, and then what we are doing result is equals to 10 by num, and this may cause zero division error. Actually what happens if the input is 0, okay, then here what will happen, 10 divided by 0, and this is an exception case, right? So it will give an error, and then when we will print the result, it will have an error value. Okay, so what we will do except, and then value error, print invalid input, please enter a number. So this will enter in this exception zone, and this will output this message. And then we have one more except zero division error, which means cannot divide by a 0. So if this case occurs, we can show that. And finally execution completed. Okay, So except handles specific exceptions like value error, zero division error, etc. Okay, and finally executes always even if an error also occurs. Let's look at this question. Write a program that checks whether the sum of the first half of an array is less than the sum of second half. If the condition is met, the program should reverse the entire array. Finally, the program should print the resulting array. Okay, let's understand what the problem is saying us. So for example, if we have the input array like this, okay, 1, 2, 3, 10, 20 and then 30. Okay, this is our input array. What it is saying is we have to write a program that will check whether the sum of first half of this array, okay, first half is what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay, which means first half will be this much and this will be second half. Okay, so I will write first half and then this is second half. Okay, so we have to check if the sum of the first half is less than the sum of second half. If it is, then we just need to reverse the array. Okay, let's see how can we do that. So in this case, let's try to find out what will be the answer. So 3 plus 2 is 5. Okay, the sum of first half is 5 and then 10 plus 20 plus 30 is 60. Okay, so this is true, right? Sum of first half is less than sum of second half. So what we will do in our output, we will just return this one. Okay, the same array with the reversed one. Okay, which means 30, 20, 10, 3, 2, 1. Okay, hope you have understood what the question is asking and how we have to solve. This is a pretty basic question and these kinds of question usually come. Okay, so you have to just stay calm and try to write the solution. Let's see. See, we have created a function that is check and reverse. What we are doing is taking n. Okay, n is what? N is the length of our array. So in our case, the length of our array is going to be 6, right? So it is going to be 6. Then what we are doing the sum of first half and then we are doing the sum of second half and storing in first half some variable and second half some variable. How we are summing it up? So we are using sum function for that, and then to take the first half of the array, what we are doing is we are using this slice technique. Okay, that is array of, and then this in this way we can take the first half basically. Okay, so array of, and this will give us the first half of our array. Okay, so this and by putting that in the sum function, we will get the sum also. So we will store that in the first half sum and second half sum in this way. Then what we will do, we will check our condition. Okay, if the first half sum is less than second half sum, then what we need to do, we need to reverse it, right? So array dot reverse and then reverse the array if this condition is met. So this way our array will be reversed and finally we will print out our resulting array. Let's consider the other case where the first half sum is greater than second half sum. So it will not go in this reverse, like in this if condition. So it will simply print out the input array itself. Okay, the same array we have to print out. So here we can see the like example usage also 1, 2, 3, 10, 20, 30. So we will just pass this in the check and reverse function and then we will get the output as the reversed array because our sum of the first half is less than sum of the second half. Hope you have understood the logic. If you have any questions, you can ask me in the comment section. Okay, so this was the Python implementation. Now you can see the Java and C# implementation on the screen. Don't worry, I will provide you all the 3 codes. Okay, that is Java, C# and Python code in the link in the description box. Make sure to check it from there. Okay, we are not going to dive deep into these codes, but it is for your reference, so you can check it and understand it. Let's now move on to the next one. Let's look at this question. The problem statement is count valid subarrays of size 3. Okay, the problem description is you are given an array of integers containing n elements. Your task is to find and return an integer value representing the total number of subarrays of size 3 where the sum of the first element and the third element is equals to the second element. Okay, a subarray is a continuous subsequence of elements in an array, and this is your input specification, input 1 and input 2, and input 1 is what? An integer array of size n, and input t is an integer value n, which is representing the size of the array. Output specification is what? We need to return an integer value representing the total number of subarrays of size 3 that satisfy the given condition. Let's first of all see what the question is asking and how can we implement it. So here we are given an example input case also. The input is going to be 1 2 1, 3 5 2 4 2, and input 2 is 8. Okay, based on this we will get the output. Okay, I forgot to add the output here. The output is going to be 2 in this case. Okay, let's see. No, output is not 2 but 3 in this case. Okay, so let's see how can we solve this and what is the question asking. So first let us understand with one of the inputs. Okay, so I will take one of the arrays here, okay, which is this one only, 1 2 1 3 5 2 4 and 2. Now just understand first thing that what is a sub array. Okay, sub array is a small part of this array. Okay, so we can call 1 3 5 also as a sub array. Then we can call 2, 4, 2 as a sub array. Okay, so in this way all these sub arrays are what, a part of this same array. Now the main thing is that sub array should only be of size 3, okay, which is already given to us. So we have to see all these types of sub arrays which can be of size 3, right? Now one by one we will check, okay, that which of the sub arrays in have what is the condition that is asked. For example, let me take the first sub array, okay, and for your knowledge, how many sub arrays are possible? So in this way the next sub array will be this, okay, and the next one will be 1, 3, 5. Okay, after that the next one will be 3, 5, 2, right? Okay, next one will be 5, 2, 4, right? In this way we will have many sub arrays, so you can understand and you can solve it. See, what is the question telling us? That the sum of first element and the third element should be equal to second element. Such a sub array is there, then we have to count that. Okay, so for example, in this one, 1 plus 1 is 2, right? Sum of first element and last element is equals to middle element. So yes, we will count this one. Let's see this one, 2 and 3. 2 plus 3 is 5, but the middle element is 5, so we will not count this one. Okay, 5 plus 1 6, which is not equal, so we will not count this one. 3 plus 2 5, yes, we will count this one. 5 plus 4 9, this is not equal, so we will not count this one. Okay, so in this way, see, we got already 2. Let's see if we have more. So I have noted 5 2 4. The next one is going to be 2 4 2, right? So yeah, this is the last one that we will have. So 2 plus 2 4, and then yeah, so sum of first and last is 2. So in this way, how much we have got? 3. So we will output 3. Okay, that is the important thing. Okay, that is the concept that we need to follow. Hope you have understood the problem. For your knowledge, I will also give you one more example so that you get it better way. Okay, let's understand quickly one more example. So let's take one more example array. Okay, let me clear out some things. So we are going to do the same thing on one more example array, because you see, understanding logic is important. Code can be done very easily. I personally believe that. So if you have understood the logic easily, then you can easily solve the question. So see, the next example that we have is 3 1 5 4 3 6 and 3. Okay, this is our next array. Okay, now again we have to check how many sub arrays are there in which the sum of first and last element is equals to the middle element. Okay, so first of all, let's calculate, let's see one by one how many sub arrays we have in this one. So 3 1 5 1 5 4 5 4 3 4 3 6 3 6 and 3. Okay, let's see. 3 plus 5 is 8, which is not equals to 1. 1 plus 4 is 5, which is equals to 5. So this 5 plus 3 is 8, which is not equals to 4. Again, no. 6 plus 4 is 10, which is not equals to 3. So this is also not going to be the answer. We will not going to count this one also. 3 plus 3 is 6. Yes. So yes, in this one we are going to count. So out of all the sub arrays possible, we have found out that there are 2 such sub arrays. Okay, so we will output the answer as 2. Hope you have now clearly understood the logic, and now let's see how can we implement this. Okay, so in your test or assessment, you will get this kind of basic template. Okay, where you need to implement your code from here. Okay, let's see how we will implement our code. Let's see the code here. So see what we are doing. We have defined a count sub array function, and here what we are taking input 1 and input 2. Input 1 is our array, input 2 is size of array. Okay, then what we are doing, we are taking the count equals to 0 initially, and then we are running a for loop over our input array. Okay, so and then we are doing this input 2 minus 2, so that we will do the calculation on one sub array. Okay, then first element we are storing in first variable, second we are storing in second variable, and third we are storing in third variable. Okay, that is input 1 of I, which means the first element. For example, if we have something like this, okay, so 0 1 2, right? So input of I means input of 0, input 1 of 0, which means first variable will be stored in first, right? First value, like it will be stored here, and then 2 will be stored in second, right? And then third will store third value, which is 1. Okay, so in this way we will have these values. Then what we will do, we will perform a if condition check whether the sum of first and third is equals to second or not. If it is true, then what we will do, we will increment our count value. Okay, in this way we will run this loop over the entire array, and finally whatever we will be our count value, we will return that. Okay, so in this way we will have all the numbers of counts, okay, in which the first and the sum of last element is equals to the middle element. Hope you have understood it. So see, here we have the example usage. Here we are taking this array, and this is the n is the length of the array, and then we are passing In our count sub arrays function, we are passing array and end, and finally when we are getting the output, we are getting it as 3. Hope you have understood the logic. For any doubts, you can ask me in the comment section. Also, here is the Java and C# implementation of the same code. I will also give you these codes in the description box. Make sure to check that. So that's all for today, guys. I hope you found the video helpful. If you have any doubts, please let me know in the comment section. Make sure to join me on Telegram and Instagram as well. You can ask your queries in the Instagram DM as well. And if you need any content, you can request it on our Telegram channel. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet to receive all the latest regular updates. I regularly post off-campus drives and preparation related videos for placements on my channel. So that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching the video.